Good evening folks, and welcome to a quick video on the new Flight Sim Federation ERJ 145. This is available on Sim Marketplace for about 25 quid, and we're just going to have a little look and what my thoughts are on this aircraft. Now, I purchased this yesterday, and this is my first time kind of really having a good look at her, and I'm going to be honest, I'm going to start this off. It's just a brief, quick review, and I'm going to be honest from the start. I'm going to say I'm very disappointed with it. Unfortunately, I do feel like I've wasted £25, but however, I'll show you the reasons as to why. So, cosmetically, from the outside, it does look pretty nice. It comes with an 8K livery. That's probably the only thing that's about 8K with it, or 4K, should I say? Sorry, 4K. You can see that it's modelled quite nice from the outside view. All the lighting with the halogen bulbs are quite nicely modelled. It's not, it's not going to be Build's kind of material for 25 quid. But what we do expect is some of the systems to work. Now, you can see that the exterior, they've got the rivets. It is nice. I'm not sure about the writing being in 4K, but yeah, it is. I mean, look at the eagle, the E on the eagle there. It's not very strange. Little things like this I pick up on very well. The door handle's missing off that door there on the right hand side there. You've got no door handle. So yeah, it is 25 quid. This is what it gets you. So we're quite excited for the release of this plane, because obviously with our virtual airline at Logan Air, which is Logan Travel virtual airline at FS Hub, this is one of our regional jets. We were looking forward to flying quite a lot, having Logan Air having a fleet of these. So visually, externally, it's okay, and that's the only thing I'm going to say there. It's okay. It's not by all means study level at all. If anything, it feels a bit like a port across from another platform. But well, I'll explain stuff to you in a little more detail in just a tick. So, undercarriage wise, not very highly detailed. I have flown this aircraft, and when you do land, there's not a lot of suspension movement at all. It feels like you're landing a brick. When you're taxiing, the nose wheel won't turn. The aircraft will turn, but the nose wheel won't turn with it. You can't enable or disable that in the cockpit whatsoever. There's no button, it doesn't work. And this is where my next sort of point of contact is. So here we are in the flight deck of the ERJ 145. Now the flight deck does look quite nice. You've got some nice reflections, albeit that it's got the same old cargo plane reflections in the back there. You can see the back of a cargo plane with all the parcels. But yeah, it's not bad. One thing that did kind of stick out to me, first of all, is the view. This is the standard view that when you first land the aircraft, the generic view, and you're not sat straight on the chair, which is a little bit disappointing. So the chair is not actually lined up with the joystick unit, which is pretty damn poor. I know obviously the seat's pulled across so you can get in, but there's no way of adjusting that so you can actually sit properly and firmly in the aircraft seat whatsoever. So that's a little letdown there. Let's have a look. Windows and stuff do not open. When you press the window button, it puts a set of headphones on there, which you'd be wearing if you were flying a Robinson R22 helicopter. The nose wheel steering is operated here. Now there should be a button on this nose wheel steering that you can press to enable, which you can't. Nothing works. No click spots whatsoever. There's a big click spot here which gets rid of the yoke. You've got that Embraer yoke, which is quite a signature yoke for this aircraft. Now, we'll go ahead and I'm going to power on the aircraft battery-wise. Now, looking at the top of the overhead panel, we kind of work left to right on these aircraft. You can see that also, one thing I will point out as well to begin with is the noise. So you can hear here, you can hear the avionics. Sounds like they're powered up. If you listen very carefully, there's no avionics on here whatsoever. So we should not be getting any noise internally in this aircraft. If you've got a sim haptic feedback on this as well, you will notice it does play vibration even though your batteries aren't on. So that's one thing they need to fix, along with about 1,000 other things. So let's go ahead and we'll turn the batteries on. Okay, so I'm going to turn the batteries to auto and AC power, backup power avionics. which is in op. You can't press any of these. So I've turned. Oh, there we go. We're on straight away. So there's no sound, there's no clicking, there's no hissing, there's no buzzing. You normally get lots of warning sounds come up, and there's just nothing at all. Cool. So this is the Honeywell systems. I do believe this is just a basic system they've integrated into these. It's nothing special. So we'll go and put the APU on, which again makes no sound, so you can't hear if it's actually on or started. Oh, I lie. Maybe I can hear a little sound there. Yep, yeah, no, we can. I didn't get that before my last load up, so hopefully we'll hold that. We should be holding it for 5 seconds. So APU is 100% now. So we should get a little light up here that says APU Gen, which is there, but it's not lit up, so we'll press it anyway. Nothing happens. Now this is one thing that I have noticed that is happening here. There's nothing lighting up on the internal cabins at all. So there's no internal lights working on the overhead panel. It's completely dead. The only thing that does work is the, well, I say that it's not working now. Cool. So the APU is on. The Gen, I've no idea which one to press because, yeah, I don't know. There's no. One thing with this aircraft as well, there's just no tablet, so you can't do anything with it. So you can't open your doors. Doors don't open, so I don't know how you load passengers. I'm going to have a little look at that in just a tick. And also there's no throttle calibration, so when your throttles are actually at idle on your My Bravo, when the engines are running, you'll notice it just put the reverses out. So we have got an APU running there. We've got no haziness running in the background. We'll put the nav lights on to see what they look like. There you go, pretty standard, basic navigation lights. The tail one obviously not working. Greens are working. Have a look at some of the external lights. We've got a taxi light, which actually look quite nice, if I'm being honest. And then we've got your landing lights as well, which should put on the nose landing light, which is obviously not, so that doesn't work. The bloom on them lights are horrific. We'll go for strobe and beacon. Strobe light looks okay. Not too sure about the reflection there. A little bit off. And the strobe lights on the wings are somewhat special. Not too sure what's going on with them. The lighting's, yeah, mediocre. So, some of the systems in here, let me just show you what's going on. So I have no idea what's going on the external panel. ICU, nothing works. Lieutenant call, nothing works. You can press these tanks and turn the auto on. I don't know what it does because it doesn't correlate with anything else. You've got your covers for your engine start. They do work. Oh, there you go. And there's the nose light. Oh, I think I've started the engine. Oh well, we'll start it anyway. Your logo light works, your dome light doesn't work, passenger seatbelt signs don't make a noise, electric pumps you can't turn on, hydraulic pumps you can't turn on. Let's have a look. Your packs you can't turn on. I don't know what's working in packs because obviously APU bleed, nothing's working. Windscreen wipers don't work. Windshield heat, not sure if it works, but I've pushed the switches, but nothing seems to be powering up this aircraft. Fire detection doesn't work. Avionic buttons don't work. Backup AC power buttons don't work. Emergency lights don't work. Yeah. Fire detection test system don't work. ICE systems, flight control system shut off don't work. So yeah, on the autopilot you've got ET nav screens which do change your nav settings on there. It also turns your weather on, but isn't the weather, it's the GPS and the terrain. So that's not working correctly. You've got these that don't work. You've also got your panel lights that obviously I'm not too sure what they're doing, but none of these buttons to the left work. None of the Honeywell laser EF systems work to align navigation systems. So let's have a look at the FMS. Let's see what's going on here. The TCAS, none of the buttons will work on here apart from the ID, which is pointless having. So your perf button, it does work. You have got a perf, and you have to enter all this manually. Okay, there's no sim brief integration with this aircraft. Your nav button doesn't work. Previous and next buttons work. Flight plan works. Progress button doesn't work. And you've got a direct to nearest airports, which doesn't work. Video doesn't work. Graphic doesn't work. ATC in-op back button works. FN, not too sure what it does. But mode, legs mode, cancel mod. There we go. So there's not really anything that works here. On the MFD screen, you've got a couple of buttons that do work. You've got your doors, which don't open, so it's pointless having. And then we've got parking brake, stall protection, thrust settings. Don't work. Also speed brake, there isn't any. You can put your speed brake out. Okay. There isn't one. For some reason, it's not modelled. It should be here, and they're not deploying, so you don't have any speed brakes. I'm not too sure if the hydraulic systems are not active yet. I have no idea how to turn them on here because I can't see if they are on or not because they don't work. Though, yep, I can't. Yeah, it's just yeah. So I can't really tell if any of the hydraulics are active because I've got no lights. I've got nothing up here. So yeah. Throttle wise, sounds mediocre. Don't sound anything special, to be honest. They're pretty crap. Your trim doesn't work. ECAS and stuff and buttons down here do not work. Roll trim does work, sort of. And you've got your pressure and your dump valves here, and your land elevation. But yeah, take off go around button doesn't work. Gust lock doesn't work. Throttle lock doesn't work. So I'll have a quick look in the cabin now. You're not going to be disappointed, I can assure you. The cabin is very, very highly detailed. Not. So, welcome to the cabin of the ERJ 145. None of your doors open, you can't press any buttons, none of your cupboards open, nothing works. This looks like something from Microsoft Flight Simulator X. When you look at the cabin, there's the work around the modelling is absolutely poor. Not up to standards in this modern world of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and 2024. You've also got some graphic leaks on the door, which I've noticed down here. You've got a graphic leak down the bottom, and also you've got something crazy going on with the graphic leaks at the top here, which is just, to me, unacceptable in an aircraft that you paid 25 quid for. And for some reason you've got someone's drawn like a love heart. I don't know if that's trying to be funny or trying to be a reflection, but again, you can't open the doors. There's nothing to open the doors with, so you can't actually get your passengers on or off. So yeah, all in all, I'm going to be honest with you, I would not buy this aircraft. Okay, I have had a fly around with this aircraft, and it handles like a bag of newspapers. It's just not right aerodynamically, not stable at all. You don't know where you're going. It doesn't follow the autopilot, won't follow any nav holds. You've got your approach modes and navs, but it just doesn't work. If I'm being 100% honest with you, go for the Flight Sim Studio, get the bigger Embraers. A lot more modelled than this. This is by far one of the worst aircraft I have paid for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and I am disappointed in it. And I don't think I'll ever buy anything from these guys, these Flight Sim Federation, ever again. Really, I'm not overly happy with it. They've released an aircraft that just isn't ready for the simulator. I mean, we've not even got working. We've not even got working. You hear the flap sound there? It sounds like it's from a Learjet from Microsoft Flight Simulator X. But yeah, it's not modelled very well, guys. I wouldn't. Don't waste your money. Personally, I'm disappointed in this aircraft. You know, nothing actually works with it. You've got not got speed brakes that activate. Reversers don't even work. Right, okay, this is one for you as well, look at this. So that's when I put my throttles to neutral, okay? Bear in mind you can't calibrate the throttles for this aircraft, there's no tablet. When you put your throttles to idle, neutral, this is what happens, so your reversers come on. Alright. That's me on full reverse now. There's actually no reversing. All you get is a weird jumping around of your throttle sticks there, so they don't work either. Yeah. So in a conclusion and a bit of a nutshell, I'm just gonna see if the doors open. Now I'm gonna use GSX. We'll turn the engines off. I don't know what's going on. We'll use GSX. We'll press request your boarding.
The boarding requested.
And we'll just see what happens. See if anything actually opens. So yeah, there you go. We've not even got a GSX profile for it. So you know you would even join a jetway onto it, but doesn't appear to be anything happening with GSX. Even GSX doesn't like it. Yeah, so it's not working there, is it?
There are no passenger stairs. You will not see passengers visually.
Yeah, okay. There we go. Quick review, guys. Don't buy this aircraft yet. It's not ready. It's unfinished. It's a complete waste of time. My advice, go for the Flight Sim Studio ERJ Embraer and get something a bit bigger, and you know, you pay for what you get with them. It's a little bit more in depth. This is an arcade made for an Xbox. It's just not made. I mean, if you're going to release something, you would at least release something that you can actually fly. Disappointed in Flight Sim Federation for releasing this. They've just got it out there quickly, so it must mean that an experienced developer is releasing this shortly. So they've just pushed one out. Another thing as well with the navigation lights, the tail light there, when you put your strobe lights on, that's when the navigation lights come on as well, so that needs to be fixed. Completely wrong setup there. Awesome, thanks for watching, guys. I'm sorry it's a quick rush job, I've got work today, so I need to get going. But in my opinion, it is not ready, don't buy it. It's not worth £25, it's just an arcade aircraft. Take care, bye bye.